and welcome to a very delayed live reaction stream to Liverpool 2, Aston Villa nil. And as my friend Mystical Red points out here in the comments, what happened for the live stream? Well, yes, one of my usual apologies. So, you might have seen from the shorts last night that I was, if you follow me on the channel, that I was ever so slightly happy about watching the Mighty Reds finally win a game of bloody football. And basically, long story short, I was out for a mate's 40th birthday party. Shout out to my mate Steve. Happy birthday, lad. Bad luck about Newcastle. Yes, so I was out with them. I was having a really good time, and then my vaunted brother asked if I would want to go for an extra drink, and I'm like, yeah, go on, why not? Liverpool never win. Let's go and celebrate. Blah 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 blah. Got back in a taxi. Probably about 20 past 1 last night, only to realise to my horror that I was meant to be doing a live stream for WWE, which should be up on the channel. It's taken ages to process, so apologies. So it should be up on, I don't know, probably, hopefully in the next couple of hours, give or take, if you want like a review of what happened. And it was a bit lively. It was pretty cool. So we weren't too happy, but we were a tiny bit happy if you smell what the Rock is cooking. Anyway, cut to last night. CM Punk, this has nothing to do with the Liverpool, obviously, wins the WWE title from Jey Uso. I'm a massive mark for CM Punk, so I took this as the cue for an additional celebration, which then started at around when the live stream finished, so probably 20 to 4 this morning. And the celebration went slightly longer than expected, hence why I'm on slightly later. I know it's not the best explanation, but like I said, I'm always honest with you guys. So if you read between the lines, you can probably guess why the live stream was delayed. So I'm in all seriousness, many apologies for that. Obviously, it's not very professional, but I'm not very professional. So, there we go. Just to say, as per usual, this will be on YouTube podcasts under Geek Boy, a Liverpool story. That's my podcast. Hey, Finla, how we doing, mate? You all right? Finally did it, mate. Yes, it'll be on YouTube podcast. It'll be on as a video, hopefully in God alone knows. Hopefully tomorrow, something like that. But yeah, I will dive into a few bits and pieces in a second because I actually managed to see the match for once with my friends in a pub like a normal person. It was really cool, actually. So yeah, it was very good. Very much enjoyed it, and a lot more positive now. I'm still not totally convinced that we're home and hosed, which I'll get onto in a minute, but it was definitely, I'll just start with this. It was our best performance of the season. Bar none. Best performance of the season. Let me just read the comments as I'm going along. Hi Rob, how you doing? You alright, mate? Finn, we finally did it. We finally what? Yeah, oh, dude, honestly, I don't know if you saw my short, but that short, the first one I put on, it was about 19 seconds. That was not acting. That was my legitimate reaction. Honestly, I don't think I even celebrated it that much. It was literally just like, oh, God Almighty for that, basically. So, yes, there we go. Hamza, ciao, bro, come va? Italiano, possibly. I don't know. Welcome, Hamza. Anyway, if that is Italiano, I do not speak fluent Italiano, unfortunately. My mate supports Villa. He's getting it tomorrow. Yes, good lad. Tutto bene? Pesce no rispondi. Let me guess. That means, can you hear me? And where is the response? Hopefully. If that is it, Hamza, hello. How you doing, mate? You all right? Don't get hype. We have Madrid and City. No, Finn, like I said, I'm not one of these that goes overboard about a win. The only reason why I've gone overboard is because, as I've told you guys before, because I'm honest and open with you, I suffer stress and panic attacks. and I actually, when it got to the 85th minute, this is really embarrassing actually to have to admit this as an adult, but I actually had a full-blown panic attack and had to go outside, because if you remember, Villa were like attacking and attacking and attacking. The last 10 minutes, it got to the stage I was just like, I need to go outside, so I had to walk around the pub twice and then left it till the 91st minute. And even in the 93rd minute, when Gio had the ball in his hands, I'm literally sat there going, I can't watch this. And my brother and all my mates sat there going, what the hell are you on about? There's only 20 seconds left. And I was like, they could concede 22 goals in 20 seconds. They're like, don't be stupid. And then when the referee blew the whistle, Finn, like I said, I was honestly, the relief was palpable. So yes, thank you Liverpool for that panic attack last night as well. It's very generous of you. I'm watching WrestleMania 19. WrestleMania 19. WrestleMania 17 was. Oh, yeah. I was just trying to work out in my head because 17 was obviously the amazing one with The Rock and Stone Cold when Austin turned heel, unfortunately. And yeah, Hogan versus Vince. That'll be the one with Rock, Austin 3, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Jericho, Shawn Michaels, possibly. I think that's a different WrestleMania, isn't it? It definitely had Brock Lesnar because I remember watching it because Brock did that what you call it, he did like a moonsault against Kurt Angle and he literally like jammed his neck into the ring and landed and everyone thought he broke his neck. But yeah, nice one, dude, nice one. Right, in terms of Liverpool, so I've made some notes, but just feel free to jump in whenever. Shawn versus Jericho, that's the one. Yeah, dude, honestly, Finn, that's one of my, potentially it's one of the top 10 matches that I've ever seen. It's definitely in my top 20. I thought it was absolutely superb. Yeah, no, one of my best matches of all time. Triple H versus Booker was not one of my favorite matches of all time. Yeah, I wasn't hugely keen on that for various reasons, which we weren't going to hear on a polite live stream. So yeah, in terms of Liverpool, let me just have a look. So as it stands today, after all the complaining that we've all done, including myself, there is a chance that if Manchester City beat Bournemouth this afternoon, which you would imagine they would, although it would be a very difficult game, if they beat them by 2 goals after all this, we will actually finish the weekend in second place, 7 points behind Arsenal. Now, the 7 points behind Arsenal is not great, and I still think that we've left ourselves far too much to do now because honestly, I don't see where Arsenal even drop a point at the minute. But if Liverpool still do want to win the title, and like I said, I'm just being honest, I don't think they've got a hope in hell, quite frankly. But obviously, I would be very much like to be proven wrong. But if the lads still think they can do it, fair play to them. And they've given themselves a chance. It's not a great chance, but at least they've given themselves a chance because when it stretched to 10 points, when Arsenal beat Burnley, I mean, you're going into the Villa match. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about the title race at that stage. I'm thinking, like, dude, we're like 10th place here. We shouldn't be in 10th place at the start of November. But we could actually remarkably end up in second place should Manchester City do the business and do it well against Bournemouth. So that's just insane. What else? Speaking of Arsenal, so I'll get this out of the way first. So I brought up the fixtures. So this is the next 5 fixtures for both teams, if it's a title race, which I don't think it is, but still. In the league, we have now Manchester City away. Not great. Nottingham Forest at home, West Ham away, which I was reasonably confident about, but they're currently beating Newcastle. In fact, I'm just going to check because I haven't checked on the scores. Let me just check if it's still 2-1. Yeah, West Ham 2, Newcastle 1, which actually that's a good result for us technically as well if Newcastle going for Champions League. Yeah, so we've got them, then we've got Sunderland. I mean, I know Sunderland are doing well, but I mean, if it was Stadium of Light, I'd be a bit like, oh, I'm not sure about that. But it's actually at Anfield, so one would hope that would be a 3 points. And then, unfortunately for some of us who live in said area, we then play Leeds United away. Now, out of all those, I cannot stress this enough. Reds and lads, if you are listening, if you have to lose 4 out of those 5 games, which I'd prefer that you didn't, but if you do, could one of them please not be Leeds United away from home? Because I will never, ever hear the end of it from the boys that I knock around with here. It literally, my life will be unbearable for 4 or 5 months. So please don't win, and please do not lose to Leeds at Anfield at the start of January. Thank you. And in terms of Arsenal, they've got Sunderland away, which I can't see it, but you never know. It's a difficult fixture at the minute. Tottenham at home. Again, you'd imagine they'd be beating Spurs. But interestingly, in the same week, they've got Tottenham at home and Chelsea away. Now, obviously, we always have this with Everton and bloody Man United when we play, because we always seem to play them quite close together in like, I don't know, a gap of like 5 or 6 fixtures. And it's just an absolute pain in the backside, basically, because they should be normal routine. I mean, like I said, we should not have been losing to Manchester United. No disrespect to them, but I'm sorry, but squad-wise, I don't think I would swap many of their first team for our second team, to be quite honest. So how we contrived to actually lose to them, I haven't got the slightest idea, quite honestly. And Everton have, again, fair play to the Ever. They're doing all right at the minute. Moyes is a good manager, but Everton really haven't got the same, I wouldn't say haven't got the right to be on the same pitch as us, because that's obviously disrespectful, but well, yeah, they haven't. So yeah, yeah, and so they've got that week with Spurs, then they've got Chelsea, then they've got Brentford at home. Again, you would imagine they should win that. But then they end that little sequence with Villa away from home. So if you look at that, I mean, you're talking North London derby, Chelsea away, Villa away, and Brentford at home. Now, I'm just hoping against hope that, I mean, for a start off, we need to basically win every single game we take part in now. So I think we can afford. I tried to work this out the other day. I think basically Liverpool at this stage can afford to lose 2 matches, an absolute push, draw 2 to 3 matches, and then basically every other league match they need to win. Simple as that. So, long story short, we've got 28 matches to go. I would say conservative estimate, Liverpool are going to have to win between 23 and 25 of them, which I can't see, but hopefully I'm wrong. But I mean, if we're going to pull some ground back on Arsenal, obviously our fixture list is getting slightly easier now after we get rid of Man City and Real Madrid, which kind of take care of themselves. But yeah, I mean, in terms of what we've got after the international break, I'm just looking again. So Forest and West Ham has to be 6 points. Simple as that. Sunderland and Leeds really has to be. I mean, if we're going to do anything, and I know this is a hell of an ask for a team that's been on the run that we've been at the minute, but after City, we need to win the next 4 games. Really. If not, it needs to be at least bare minimum 10. If we can get 10 points, which will get us to what, 29, 30 odd going into the sort of Christmas period, then it's like, right, we've got a bit of a chance, but then you would imagine Arsenal are going to win most of those games. I could see the one that they drop points in being Villa, because they do tend to struggle quite badly against Aston Villa. I think was it last season they lost twice to them, on the season before. I think they lost them last season as well. I can't remember, but they always seem to have really tricky games against the Villa for some reason. So, yeah, Finn, my cousin supports West Ham. I want them to lose. Nice. I asked my uncle if he would take Prime Rooney in the Liverpool squad today, and he asked me what drugs I'm taking. Prime Rooney in the Liverpool squad. I mean, I wouldn't, obviously, because he's played for Man United and Everton, but if it was Prime Rooney and say he'd played for Aston Villa, for argument's sake, for 15 years, Would I take him in the current squad? I mean, not over Mo Salah. Simple as that. If Alexander Isak was the Alexander Isak that Newcastle have had for the last 3 years, like killing everyone with basically boatloads of goals, I I'd probably stick with prime Isak over prime Rooney just for the goals, but I think Rooney is obviously the better footballer. I mean, obviously, he's probably, you've got to say he's better than Gakpo. I think Hugo Ekitike is going to be absolutely outstanding, but is he as good as Wayne Rooney at the minute? Probably not. So, I suppose theoretically, what I'm actually saying is, I suppose yes, but I feel very horrible about saying that. But still, yeah. So, just in terms of the game, I'm just going to run through some points quickly because, as you guys know, I can't remember anything, and I have to look at this laptop, which you can't see, which is why I've got the shiny thing in my eyes. Like I said, we played quite well. I still think there's a lot of stuff to improve on. What team do you support? I support Man City. I support Liverpool. Caleb Pill. Yeah, I support the Liverpool. Yeah, you're playing in an hour, aren't you? I think, mate. Against it's Bournemouth, isn't it? I think we have a difficult game now. That's totally thrown me, actually. A Man City person watching my live stream, which is fine. It's cool, not a problem. What the heck was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So the only sort of complaint last night that I had with Liverpool again, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know if anyone else noticed and just put in the comments or whatever. If you listen to this in the as a podcast, just let me know later or whatever. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, mate? You're right. Tomo J King. Tomo J King. I'm just checking that's not a thingy name, because I've been done on a couple of names recently. I'm sure it's not, but yeah, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but it's driving me up the wall at the minute. So whenever we lose the ball on the edge of an opposition penalty area, despite the fact Dominic Szoboszlai, who I'll get onto in a minute, is brilliant, and Grav was brilliant last night, absolutely superb. I don't get how attackers are basically getting from our penalty area, so the penalty area we're trying to score in, all the way to the edge of our box without being challenged. And I know it was, oh yes, Thomas. Yeah, I remember you, mate. Yeah, how you doing, dude? How you doing? Yes, we spoke before, haven't we, on a few live streams? Hi, mate. Welcome. But yeah, I don't understand this business of like, so there's people literally who are just waltzing from one end of the penalty area to the other, and I'm sat there at the pub last night going, could someone just foul someone? I know it's not the thing that you're meant to do anymore, but sometimes you just. I'm trying to think of a polite way of putting this. Basically, sometimes if someone's running toward your edge of your box, you need to boot them up into the air. And I know that's not very sportsmanlike, but like I am a realist, and if someone's about to score and make it 2-1 when you're on a losing run, you need to just boot them in the air and take the yellow card. I know that sounds horrible, but this is real life. Crack on, get on with it. You know what I mean? So that was my only real complaint about last night. Other than that, I thought the lads played. I thought it was the best 90 minutes of the season, as in 90 minutes by far. I'm not saying it, Aaliyah. I'm not saying it. Because my son's asking me to say it all the time, and he's marching around the house shouting those words at the minute every 2 seconds. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what it means, to be honest. Let's have a look. Plox. Oh, Plox Entertainment 124. I'm just gonna call you 124 because that's a bit of a mouthful. Hello, 124. Welcome. All right, 7-6. There we go. How about that? Amy Wheeler. Hi, Amy. How you doing? You all right? Oh, good. All right, 6-7. There you go. I'm sure my son will be delighted watching downstairs. Yeah. Just in terms of the individual performances, just to get through this before I do questions and stuff, I thought Ibu Kanate was absolutely fantastic last night. I thought he was actually better than Verge. We've given him a load of stick recently, and I thought he was immense. Best performance of the season by far. He was like a rock. shout out to Andy Robbo. I thought Andy Robertson was absolutely brilliant last night. Absolutely brilliant. So, shout out to Robbo. I don't know what any other Reds fans think out there, but he now needs to start for. Sorry, I'll get to the comments in a minute. He needs to start for Liverpool left back every single game now, for as far as I'm concerned. And if you're worried about him being tired, then it's a case of you have to bring Kirkes on for him in about the 20th, in about the 60th, 70th minute, something along them lines, basically. Because I'm just going to get the comments back to where I was, so I'll respond to them in a minute, guys. Yeah, Kirkes is having a nightmare at the minute. I still think he's going to be a fantastic player for Liverpool. I think he'll be absolutely brilliant. But you've got to be realistic. He's not having a good time of it. And I think it's kind of just to say, right, you are being dropped, but there's a reason for it. Because if I keep playing you, you're going to keep making mistake after mistake after mistake. What we're going to do is we're going to shadow you with Robbo for the next few games. So you will come on against Real Madrid and Man City for the last 10 to 15 minutes. You watch Andy, you learn from him, you support him in terms of physically, you back us up, and you practice on the training field, and we drill you and drill you and drill you. And then you play against Sunderland, for example, or the Leeds away. Well, actually not Leeds, actually, because I will have the Mickey taken out of me if Kirkes does something wrong by the lads. But like the Sunderland game, for example, and then you like prime him next year for like the FA Cup third round, couple of dead rubbers in the Champions League, if hopefully there are dead rubbers, which I have a feeling there might not be, because obviously we've got Real Madrid coming up. So yeah, I thought Andy Robbo was absolutely brilliant. Ryan Gravenberg, that was a hell of a performance. Not just the goal, he was brilliant considering he's been out for so long. He was really good last night. Thoroughly enjoyed him. I thought Hugo was really good. I thought Salah played better. He's still not quite there, but that's 2 goals in his last 2 games, and he was a lot more. At least he looks a lot more positive. I mean, his final ball and pass, yet again, were pretty diabolical, but at least he was now getting into the areas that we all expected him, and he just seems a lot more. He seemed at it last night. Like when he scored, there was no messing about. He literally just walked back to the halfway line, and he was just like, "Right, crack on, let's get on with it." Which I thought, fair play to the lads. A lot of them were taking it very well. Obviously, they always take it serious, but they looked ultra focused and dialed in. Like I said, it wasn't the best performance in the world, but there was grit, there was heart, there was passion. Yeah, which is what I wanted. Basically, I didn't want a beautiful performance because Villa are always going to make it difficult for us because they're a very, very good football team, and we didn't need that yesterday. We needed to just get in and get at them, and the lads did really well. But before I continue, one thing I am going to say. Oh, actually, one thing I did write down was shout out to Mamadashvili as well. That save that he made from. Let me just have a look. The save that he made from. I think it was Matty Cash. Stunning save, absolutely brilliant. So he has arrived. I thought he kept goal very, very well yesterday. So shout out to Gio Mamadashvili. I thought he was very, 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 very excellent. But the main thing that I wanted to mention for the match yesterday was Dominic Szoboszlai. I know this might be going a bit over the top, and I'm sure some of you might say, well, don't be ridiculous, I've seen better people play than that this season. I thought Dominic Szoboszlai, that's the best individual performance I've seen from a footballer anywhere in the world this season, possibly with the exception of Declan Rice. That's how highly I would rate it. He was brilliant last night. He did not stop running. He defended. He got us forward. He made passes. Tested the goalkeeper a couple of times. Some of the shots weren't great, but you're talking if Dominic Szoboszlai could add goals. I mean, I dread to think if Dominic Szoboszlai ended up being, I don't want to keep saying Steven Gerrard or anything like that. He won't ever be Steven Gerrard because Gerrard was unique. But if Sobbo could add, let's say, 10 to 12 goals a season regularly, maybe getting up to 15, I mean, I dread to think how much he would be worth, and I'd be very interested to know what Liverpool are doing about a contract with him at the moment. because off the top of my head, I think he signed a 5-year. He came 2 years ago, so we're a third way into the season, so he should have 2.5 years. To avoid the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation, which I'll get on to him in a minute, by the way. Ugh. The Dominic Szoboszlai contract thing needs to take priority, and when I say priority, I would actually put it above Ebu. And I know that sounds really stupid, like, why are you doing that for? Because someone will come and cherry pick this guy, folks. I cannot express how good Dominic Szoboszlai is. I think he's been not far off the best player in the league this season. Not just saying it because I'm a Liverpool fan, because, like I said, I'm an honest lad, and I don't think half of our players have actually played that well. I think Ali Gravenberch, and maybe Van Dijk in a couple of games, but and Chiesa as well. But other than that, no one consistently. But Szoboszlai has been consistently excellent, and I dread to think where we'd be in the table without that man. I just want to say shout out to Dom. He was brilliant last night, absolutely bloody brilliant. So yes, contracts, if Mr. Edwards and Mr. Hughes are listening, which I'm sure they're not, but if they were for some reason, lads, contract, get it sorted, whatever he wants, pay the man. I mean, looking back on it, and I was one of these people, I don't know how there was even a discussion about Dominic Szoboszlai being left out of the squad. I mean, if anything, now it's changed so much that Alexis McAllister is the one under pressure from Florian Wirtz, unless of course you play Wirtz as part of the front three, which I'm starting to think maybe, because obviously he did do that for Bayer Leverkusen to a certain extent. I'm starting to think maybe Florian Wirtz would be better as part of a front three, not as a central striker, obviously, but I mean, obviously he can play off either wing, but like I'd be thinking about putting him somewhere there, and not having him as a winger as such, but putting him towards the wing, but say, right, Florian, you can go, you can go more or less wherever you want. Obviously, we need you to track back when someone's attacking, but if you want to drift over to the right or the left, do what you want within reason. And I would think about putting him up there. The trouble is with that idea is you've then, when they're fit, got Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekitike, Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo, Rio Ngamoa, and Federico Chiesa, 3 of which can't even get so much as a game at the minute. So if you throw Wirtz into the mix, you've then got 2 places in the top 3 being. I mean, when Jaden Dan's come back as well, I mean, he's got bloody no chance, has he? You're talking 2 places for what, 6 or 7 footballers, and they're on about buying Semenyo as well. Hopefully that's true, God willing. Big up Ghana. Yeah, so I don't know how I got onto the Florian Wirtz thing, to be honest. It is something that's, I might as well talk about that. It is something that's, it's not a horrendous problem to have, obviously. It's like, oh my God, we've got Alexis McAllister and Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike. Where are they all going to play? It's like, we are very much dining at like first world problems restaurant. These are not actual real football problems. Real football problems are your club going to administration, like Chef Wed got this week. That is an actual problem. This is a luxury. And it's going to have its challenges, obviously, but then you think to yourself, well, Salah's only got a contract for 2 years, perhaps. I mean, obviously even less than that now, and obviously he's going to the African nations. Maybe there's been some conversation with Mo and Arna and everyone else basically saying, look, I'm going to do the 2 years. And maybe Arna has told, I'm just speculating here, but maybe he's told Ekitike and Wirtz, look, basically we've got Mo for the next year and a half. We'll start phasing him out towards the end of the next season and we'll have him as an impact sub, because if Salah then kicked off, it's like, well, you're leaving next summer anyway. I mean, I would like Mo Salah to stay for the next 5 to 7 years, let alone the next 2. But if that is the plan, maybe that's what's going to happen. You would imagine, obviously, Chiesa, fair play to the bloke as well. I think he's been really good this season. But at some stage, he is going to be like, guys, look, I'm really enjoying myself here, but I'm whatever it's going to be. I'm 28. I've still got 6 years at the top level at bare minimum. I'm going to go back to Italy and play for Roma, for example. And I won't begrudge that either, and I don't think any of us would. So you're going to lose Chiesa. Jaden Dan's, I feel sorry for the kid, obviously. I think he's done I don't even know what the injury is, to be honest, but apparently he's out for a very, very long time. So you're talking, last I heard, it's potentially March or April. So I feel so sorry for the kid, but you've got to look at it and like, is Jane Dan's going to be able to force his way in? I mean, like, he's only young, and I think he's only just turned 20, so he's still got plenty of time. But I guess he's got a chance, but it's going to be very difficult for him. Obviously, Rio Ingomara is definitely going to be the future. I mean, you would imagine you could see a scenario in about 6 years where it's Ingomara, Hugo Ekitike, and maybe Semenyo / Verts or something along them lines. I don't know what the obviously the future holds, but yeah, it's certainly interesting anyway. So, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, the goals. So, as some of you know, I do sort of trend on the sarcastic occasionally. So I'm going to try not to be too sarcastic. But in terms of the first goal, I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. Best goalkeeper in the world. Really? The best goalkeeper in the world. Who feels so sorry for Liverpool's current plight that he felt compelled to pass the ball to Mo Salah, basically like an assist, with Mo just saying, "Thanks very much, Tala," and then puts it in the back of the net. And Martinez is sat there flapping his arms about and this, that, and the other, and like trying to blame presumably a sentient robot or something like that. I've got no idea who he was blaming, to be honest. I couldn't believe that, because obviously we scored the goal with Hugo, and then when the VAR went up, I basically, my head went into my pint. I was just like, I just give up with this at the minute. I went to the boozer to go and buy another one. Then I turned and we scored, and no one could really work out, because we'd all missed it basically, because obviously it was just across the penalty area, and we're all like, oh, well, whatever. And we're all sat there chatting, and all of a sudden we see Liverpool fans going up and cheering. We're like, what is going on? I thought it'd been sending off first, and they showed the replay. Well, I mean, there was hysterics in the pub I was in. Honestly, it was literally, was one fella that would look like he was about to cry, basically, with laughter. I've never seen anything like it in all my life. So yeah, obviously we went in front with that. That was a massive help, because I do wonder, had we gone in 0-0 at half time, and obviously we'd had the Ekitike goal ruled out, you're like, oh, right, what's the second half going to bring? But that was just that slice of luck that we needed, to be honest, and hopefully it's going to be the springboard. Obviously, Grav gets the really good goal. He drives through. The Villa defending was not too clever on that one, it has to be said. And then he slots it, basically. I think it took a little deflection as well. But yeah, no, Grav played really well. Actually, do you know what? Fair play to Aston Villa as well. I thought they came and certainly had a go at us. I think we just did enough to win, but I think Villa can maybe feel a tad unfortunate. I mean, Gio didn't have many saves to make, but like I said, if you haven't seen it, that save that he makes, I think it was from Matty Cash. It might have been someone else, I don't know, but the save that he makes is stunning. It's one of my favourite saves of the season. So I think Villa were a tad unlucky, to be honest, but I think overall we deserve to win. So like I said, fair play to the boys. And yeah, there we go. Before I get to the comments, actually, folks, I'm just going to check what the score is with Newcastle and West Ham. It's still West Ham 2, Newcastle what? I said that Newcastle would win 5-0. That shows what I'm shows shows what I know about football. Also, interestingly, if West Ham are doing an upturn in form, we're playing West Ham in 3 weeks' time. Yeah, great. So yeah, just quickly, I'm just going to do a very quick bit on Madrid, folks, and so I promise I'll get to the comments and stuff, but I just want to make sure I talk about everything. Right, so yeah, Real Madrid. In terms of injuries and stuff, Ali, I think, is in light training, but I don't think Arna takes the risk, so it's going to be Gio again. He was at least talking about Jones and Alexander Isak in the press conference, but he was saying 90% no chance they're not fit for this game. Now, whether that means they're in contention for this one, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, with us only having 2 games before yet another wretched international break, with us only having another couple of games, if Jones and Isak aren't exactly ready, I would just have them getting ready for Nottingham Forest on the 23rd, whenever it is, and I'll be saying to England and Sweden, no chance. Simple as that. And you can go to FIFA all you want to. They are not coming. The end. Especially not Isak, because I mean, if he's not fit for his club, he shouldn't be playing for his country, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know whether that'll end up in some sort of row. Excuse me, but yeah, maybe they'll be on the bench. I don't know. Obviously, look, Leone's going to be out for what is it, another 10 months, bare minimum. Frimpong, is. I mean, what I heard is that he might be out past Christmas, which is not helpful because obviously we've got Bradley at right back who can break down. So I think Joe Gomez is going to need a lot of looking after as well, because he might have a very crucial part to play, actually, funnily enough, because Verge and Kanate cannot play every single game this season. Obviously, Gomez played in the League Cup, and I thought he did quite well, other than the daft mistake that he made. But he could be very well as the backup for centre back, along with Endo, and then basically he's our only replacement really that we've got for Bradley, unless you can put, I don't know, unless you can put Curtis Jones back there again. I know he's played them because I think he's done right fullback and very briefly left fullback as well. So perhaps you could play Curtis Jones. I don't want to see Dominic Szoboszlai. I wouldn't say ever, but I don't want him to play that position just because he's so good in midfield, and I think it weakens us. But again, I suppose if him or Gravenberch, for example, needs to go back to centre back, or Soba needs to go to right back, then technically you could get Verts in. So it's like you give with one hand, take with the other, basically. So, but yeah, and also obviously Dan's and Bajcetic long term. I think Bajcetic is maybe on the grass now, possibly. I don't know, but those are the injuries, and I'm sure. Oh, obviously Alisson Becker, the best goalkeeper in the world, which I did say at the time, didn't I? Yeah, no, I did say Alan. Am I missing someone? I kind of think I'm missing another injury. I might not be. I can't remember. But yeah, just with that in mind, I've gone for my first 11 for the match. Also, as well, just to get the elephant out of the room, yes, Trent. I didn't think this was going to be a thing because he looked really badly injured after the match against, I don't know who it was, I think it was Getafe that he injured himself against. I'm not sure. But when it happened, he was like 6 weeks, which seemed to also take into account the Liverpool game back at Anfield. And so I'd kind of like, whatever, oh, well, at least we've got rid of that problem. But he actually seems to be fit now. I mean, I would not personally advise Real Madrid to play Trent Alexander-Arnold in that match. And the one thing I ask if Real Madrid win is, and you know what I'm going to say, so I'm not even going to say it, but I'm just thinking 0-0, 95th minute, Cop end, free kick to Real Madrid, and I'll leave that there because that does not even bear thinking about, quite honestly. Just as well to say, folks, we definitely need to boo Trent because he's an opposition player, and not just Trent, all the Real Madrid players, and like get on their backs and make mistakes. That's absolutely fine. But and I'm not going to get into the Trent thing again because it was a whole thing, and it's up to people, and I'm not going to tell people how to think, what to believe, and all this stuff, blah blah blah. But can we just keep it? If you hate him, then obviously scream your lungs out, and you paid your money and this, that, and the other. But can we not have things? Well, obviously things chucked from the stadium at him for a start off, which I don't think our fans would do that really. But can we not like have like horrendous abuse of the man? I mean, if you want to wind him up and take the mickey out of him, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Get the mickey take out of him, take the mick when he loses the ball and laugh at him. That's fine as a professional football. But what I'm saying is don't take it too far because it's completely unnecessary. Obviously, he was a very good player for us. I don't agree with his decision, and I never will, but I can respect his decision. He wants to go and try something new, and maybe he will have a fantastic time with Real Madrid, but I don't think he conducted himself in the best manner in the last year of his contract. And I know it was a bit of a dance and this, that, and the other, and it's like, it's the adult world, and this is how it is, but I just think he could have been slightly more honest in the way that he went about it. But yeah, no over-the-top abuse is what I'm saying. Anyway, so before I read the comments for anyone that's still left, like I said, this will be on YouTube podcast, and it will be on the video as well. I probably should have done this at night because I get a lot more viewers, but I've got to do like some filming of something this week, which I'll get out, which I'll tell you guys about in a minute. So my team, basically, with the injuries taken into account, is Mamadashvili, definitely Andy Robbo, Virgil van Dijk, Ibu Kanate, Connor Bradley obviously has to play. I'd actually go, and this is where some of you will probably disagree with me, I'd go Alexis McAllister, Gravenberch, Sobbo, and kind of up front, but sort of a hybrid midfield going into up front. I'd go with Hugo Ekitike, Salah, because he's now got the hot hand again. And I would actually go for Florian Wirtz on this occasion, purely for the fact that obviously he's used to playing in Europe. I believe he's played Madrid on a couple of occasions now. So he's used to that standard of football. I just think basically we're going to have to turn this into a bit of a midfield. I'm not saying a dogfight because, like, obviously Wirtz is neither use nor ornament, like in a dogfight. But like, just think if you pack the midfield a little bit more, and if you can get Wirtz on the ball and maybe have him link play, so kind of have him like Roberto Firmino, but a bit deeper than Firmino was, if you see what I mean, kind of thing. If not, then I'm sorry, I have to disagree with a lot of people at the minute. I would just stick with Cody Gakpo because, and again, if this is not your position and if this is your opinion, absolutely fine. I'm more than happy to take the comments on it or whatever. The abuse of Cody Gakpo, I don't know if I've gone to a parallel universe and I'm watching something that I'm not supposed to be watching, but there was a comment the other day. So obviously Gakpo scored a fair few goals for Liverpool this season. He's actually made, not loads of assists, but I think he's got a couple. So I mean, his stats are actually quite good. And I get in general play, he's not had the best season, but I don't think he's been one of the worst by any stretch of the imagination. He would be nowhere near the bottom 5 worst players that we have. I think that's a ludicrous thing to say. But one of the comments I read the other day was, and it was after Gakpo had scored. It was like, oh, what else? What else does he do? He assisted 2 goals and scored a goal. He needs to do more than that. And I'm like, does he? No, he needs to put that. You know that circle thing with the black and the white on it. He needs to put that in that net thing over there, or he needs to pass it to the little Egyptian dude who can put it in that onion bag thing over there. I've got to be honest, like I get this whole thing of like, oh, everyone has to fight for the team. Obviously, it goes without saying, but this thing of everyone has to play well and have to be a jack of all trades. I couldn't give a toss if Cody Gakpo scores a goal and makes 2 assists. As far as I'm concerned, that's his job. So I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't expect Cody Gakpo to be in central midfield. I expect him to be bobbing up the bloody wing, trying to. And it's like, oh, he's got this one trick, and he always cuts on the inside. Yeah, but folks, this one trick is he's constantly getting past the defenders. Why are we telling him not to do something? He's got honest to God. That if you disagree with me, obviously that's fine. But honestly, I find it incredible. I find it absolutely incredible. Complaining about a man who is scoring and assisting goals. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be rude, but like obviously I'm from the 90s, and it was basically, it was kick and rush football a lot of the times. And the idea was you get 2 tricky wingers, excuse me, who beat a man, crossed it into the area, and they'd be flick on from a small bloke, or sometimes a big bloke would just come in and go boof, and that was it. Back of the net, job done. And there were 30-yard screamers and this, that, and the other. But there was some brilliant players back in the day, and you didn't have all these tactics formations. You have people like Paul Gascoigne, who Terry Venables, God rest his soul, would literally just say to him, Gaza, here's the ball, go and work your magic. The end. No formations, no nothing. And it's like, everyone now's got to be a bloody robot. I suppose this is a larger point, really, but this has been bothering me for a long time. It's like, again, kind of the abuse that Salah gets now. Obviously, Salah has not played well this season. We know what he's capable of. But, I mean, again, if you look at him, I mean, I'm trying to work out how many goals he's got. I'm guessing he's got 6, maybe? In fact, let me have a look. Oh, I'm also going to have a look to see how Newcastle are getting on. It is 2-1 to West Ham in the 7th minute of extra time. So I'm guessing that they are going to win. What does that do for the table while I'm there? Right, Newcastle are in 13th place on 12 points. Ooh, crikey. So I suppose if we look at them as a Champions League rival, if that's what we're doing now, they are 6 points off Liverpool. So we've actually had quite a decent weekend, to be honest, because obviously Tottenham have lost, but Chelsea have won. I guess obviously Man United dropped points yesterday. Obviously we beat Villa, who are one of our rivals. They've slipped back down, and then either Bournemouth or Man City or both are going to drop points as well. So I suppose this is going to actually end up being a good weekend. Let me just have a look at the stats for Mo Salah. Just bear with me 1 second, because let me have a look. Let's see if I can find it. I mean, it's not brilliant. Obviously, I can tell you that now. It's nowhere near some of the stats that he's had before, but it's still going to be very, very good. Not very, very good, but it'll be all right if you see what I mean. I cannot find it. Right, I'll tell you what, for the Premier League. Oh, here we go. Right, so Mo Salah has played 14 games. He's got 5 goals, 3 assists. Again, I said this before. For Mo Salah, that isn't good enough. No arguments there, and Mo Salah will not be happy with that total. He will be fuming that he's got that. So, yeah, not going to deny and say he's not been poor, because he has been. But the point is, if you're a not even a bargain basement Premier League player, because you don't get to that level unless you're a semi-good footballer. But Mo Salah is not a semi-good footballer. He's one of the best players in world football. So, but again, it's like, oh, West Ham 3, Newcastle 1. Oh dear, on my mate's birthday as well. Sorry, Steve. Crikey. Yes. Anyway. It's not bad, is what I'm saying. And look, if Mo Salah's game focus is going to change to the point where he has to adapt, and he is just a goal poacher and doesn't particularly do much for the team, then I mean, sorry, but going back to 90s football, so be it, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, going back to the Cody Gakpo thing, I'm sorry. I think the abuse that man is getting is ludicrous. To be honest, I'm not saying he's been brilliant by any stretch. I thought he was absolutely atrocious in the. I know he scored against Man United, but I thought he was abysmal in that game. I mean, some of his misses were how anyone could miss that header. I mean, my son's about 2 foot tall, and he could have scored that from that cross. But yeah, yeah, that's my little soapbox rant over. So yeah, my team basically going back to it is Mamadashvili, Robbo, Virgil van Dijk, Ibu, Bradley, McAllister, Gravenberch, Sobbo, Salah. I'm going with Verts to play as a free with Hugo Ekitike, which hopefully should leave on the bench off the top of my head Freddie Woodman, Milos Kerkez, Joe Gomez. So that's your defensive replacements. Wataru Endo is going to be number 4. In terms of your midfield, that's the one problem with the midfield that I've just put, actually, to be fair. Let me just check. Yeah, so if I put McAllister in, you've to come off the bench midfield, you've got a choice of Trainioni or Wataru Endo, unless I'm missing someone. Look, if Jones comes back, then obviously Genius, you bang him on the bench, that's fine. So, mate, if Jones is fit, obviously Jones, he can go in there, that's fine. Trainioni is a good little footballer, but obviously, with the greatest respect to Trey, he's only a very young lad. I would prefer that he was not starting against Real Madrid Football Club or indeed Manchester City Football Club at the Etihad away from home. But yeah, Trainioni, and then that would leave you with 3 more spaces? Obviously, Alex Isak, we don't know. I don't think he's going to be fit. I think Curtis Jones is not far off. I would expect him to be on the bench. And then we'll go with Chiesa, Rio Ingamoa, and Cody Gakpo? Yeah, Cody Gakpo, basically. So I'd have Cody Gakpo as like your break glass, essentially, for the match. And yeah, in terms of Madrid, look, folks, to be honest, I think this is just I don't want to say if Liverpool ever have a free hit, because we shouldn't be a free hit football club, but with the way they're playing at the minute, I'm not expecting anything. I think this is one of those matches we can lose where people aren't going to be totally pissed off. Obviously, we'll all be annoyed because I don't want Liverpool Football Club losing matches, but it's not like an embarrassment losing to Real Madrid. And then you've got Man City, and it's like, well, if you lose the next two games, people are like, well, it's a difficult ass kind of thing. But obviously, we could do to keep us on a run with getting a point either from the Champions League group game or at the Etihad, which is going to be very, very difficult. If you could draw one at least, if you could win one and draw one, that would be absolutely fantastic. But obviously, we'll have to wait and see. It's not all changed just because of the Villa match. But yeah, no, a lot more positive about it. And yeah, hopefully the Reds will be better going forward. West Ham have just won, by the way. Right, guys. In fact, while I'm on, I'm going to switch the. I don't know if the Man City guy is still with us. I'm going to put you guys on my. No, I was going to put them on my live stream now. I can't do that, can I? I can't be showing Premier League football. Actually, I need to make sure it's not going through my glasses, actually. I'm just thought that. Hopefully no one's been watching Premier League football through my glasses. Right, guys, I'm going to go through the comments. Sorry if some of you have left, but I just wanted to get all that off my chest. But can I just say quickly as well, I think there's one or two of you who have looked at my Substack articles recently. So I'm on Substack at Geek Boy Meta. Again, if you just type in Geek Boy Meta, it's exactly the same thing. I do like not match reports, but like I do like analysis of Liverpool games. I say analysis, and I'm not Paul Tompkins by any stretch of the imagination, but I just do like sort of sarcastic third person like match reports and stuff. Semi-serious as well. Yes, I just do stuff on the Reds and how to put this. I avoid politics like the plague on YouTube. Don't want to be involved, not interested. But some of my articles tend to go onto the politicised agenda of our times to a specific point, which you can probably guess, especially with me being a Liverpool fan. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So you're more than welcome to check that out. Oh, I'm also on Reddit as well. I haven't quite worked out what Reddit is. I know what it is, obviously, but it's kind of like you just put a post out and like loads of people comment on it, or like no one comments on it and it just disappears. And it's like, I don't even know how you build followers on it, to be honest, because obviously I put my first ever video on YouTube and then I had a follower after about a week, and then obviously it's built up from there. And the same thing with Blue Sky and Threads, but the Reddit thing just seems really random. It's really, really weird. But yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Right, guys, I'm going to read your comments. Really sorry that I've been waffling on. So, right, 67. Yes. Against the Nature's Call. Wine, wine, wine. Well, Nature's Call. Hence my live stream was delayed. I may have overboarded on the wine a tad. Not that it affected my ability to do the live stream last night, of course. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm not saying 67. Still 67, still 67. This has been going on for ages. Wow. Wow. Okay, fair enough. Liverpool for life, good. That's better. Cheeseburger. Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm the only viewer I know you. Let's see, Liverpool. Not trying to be rude, but okay, cool, nice one. Show us your secret toy collection. Oh, I role play AI. What do you want to see? I don't know if you're still on. If you are still on, there you are. That's my collection. Well, not all of it, obviously. That's one of my newer ones. That's Barika Spider-Man. It's one of my favourites that I've just got recently. Would thoroughly recommend that. What else have I got? I've got a Godzilla. I did a short on that the other day. Got that from Forbidden Planet for that price, 10 quid, which I thought was really good. What else have I got? I'm surrounded by toys, to be honest. Oh, one of my favourite ones actually is that one. That is my X-Men Magneto, my X-Men Sentinel. There you go. Check this guy. If you listen on the podcast, by the way, I'm just showing like people my toys that I've got basically to hand. What else can I show you? Oh, there you go. This is one of my favourites. Gambit, that's one of my favourites as well. Like I said, if you like toys, by the way, one of my playlists is Geek Boy does toy hunts where a lot of these guys are featured. What else have I got? Let me have a look. Can't pull that one out because the whole thing will come falling down. Oh, some of you might like this. That would be the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin, my favourite wrestler of all time. There you go, check him out. And I can't really pull anything else out because all of it will fall down. What else can I reach? Oh, there's this guy. Check him out. V for Vendetta. Very topical at this time of year. There you go. Anyway, that was that was an intermission. There we go. Show us your secret toy selection. Role play, show chats. Arsenal, yes, thank you. Yeah, even. Gabeach. Am I saying that correctly? Gabeach. Hello, big up the Reds. We're going to beat Madrid on Tuesday. Well, Gabeach, I tell you what. Just in case I'm butchering your name, Gabeach, I'm going to just call you 447 because my pronunciation of people's names is atrocious. So yes, 447. I'm glad you're confident about beating Real Madrid. I don't share any such confidence, I'm afraid. To be honest, if you offered me a point out the next two games, I know this is very unambitious, but I would rip your hand off for it right now because, I mean, you're talking Champions League group-wise, we'd be on 7 points after, what, 4 matches? We've won... We beat Frankfurt. Who's first team that we beat? I can't remember. I know we lost to Galatasaray, and then we beat Atletico Madrid. So if we get through the Madrid, the other Madrid game, I mean, basically, with the greatest respect to the other teams, I mean, you've done most of the hard bit of your Champions League. I mean, basically, if you beat PSV Eindhoven after the international break, which you would imagine they would, if you get a point from Real Madrid, that puts you on 10 points. I mean, basically, you've more or less qualified. You need another win out of, what, 4, maybe? You go away to Marseille. Obviously, it's very hostile over there, but, I mean, it's not going to be any more hostile than Galatasaray, with greatest respect to the Marseille Ultras. So you'd imagine Liverpool get the points there. We've always got the fullback of Karabag. I know, no disrespect to Karabag's, they've been really, really good this season in Champions League, but, I mean, again, you would be hoping Liverpool win that game. By the way, put that in your calendar. January the 28th, I will be coming live from Anfield. Not obviously, I can't live stream the match for obvious reasons. Well, I mean, I could, I suppose. But, can you live stream games whilst they're on TV? You'd think I'd know that being on YouTube. Would generally, does anyone know, or has anyone ever done that before? Because I thought that was a big no-no, and it was not allowed. But I have seen lots of people with a record button on in the football. I mean, obviously, I record the goals as well while I'm there and do match day vlogs and stuff. And obviously, like people like Redman and this is Anfield Rap do as well. So you see loads of phones. But I have seen people with the phones going off for longer than one would have thought. So maybe that's a thing. I don't know. But yeah, 28th of January. Hopefully myself and my not so little brother anymore will be going to see Liverpool versus Karabag. I'm gonna try and get tickets for another match if I can. Money is a bit tight at the minute. I'm kind of relying on the FA Cup draw as well to an extent. I'm hoping we get, like, I don't know, Oxford at home or something like that. And then if I can get it through hospitality, which I really begrudge having to pay hospitality fees, but if you go on a seat reseller, I think it's Seat Loader, you can get a hospitality ticket for, I think when they did Accrington last year, it was 80 quid, which is just like, what? You can't ask to pay that against Accrington Stanley? And it's like, guys, I've got no chance of ever getting a match day ticket for Liverpool. and I've been on the supporters thing for 3 years now. Apparently the waiting list is 25 years or something daft like that. Anyway, but yes, just quickly, I will 90% will be at Carabag, Liverpool Carabag at Anfield on January the 28th, and I'll be doing obviously match day vlogs, and the usual stuff that I usually do, basically. Liverpool wise, by the way, if you're just following me, subscribers will know this, but if you just go to the playlist Geek Boy Does Liverpool, that's where all my Liverpool content is. There's the two Legends matches, there's the match against Southampton season before last, there's the Tottenham League Cup match that we won 4-0, which was amazing. Athletic Bilbao and the second match against Atletico Bilbao, and there's like wall mural tours, Liverpool merch stuff, stadium tours, and so on and so forth. And the parade stuff's on there as well, and there's a load of stuff about Diogo as well if you want to watch. So yeah, but yeah, no pressure, up to you guys. Absolutely fine. Yeah. No laughing. We'll beat Madrid. Like I said, 447. I hope you're right. For Salah, it's not good, but overall, it's not bad. No, this is 447. This is what I think I'm miles beyond the comments. Aren't I? This is what I mean. 447. Like I said, it's not. I'm trying to think of an example. So if you had, who's a decent Premier League striker that's not absolutely? I know this is a bit cool. Let's say Callum Wilson, for example. Just off the top of my head, if Callum Wilson was fit and firing for West Ham and he'd got 5 goals and 3 assists, you would go, oh, it's not bad at all. That, to be fair, in fact, it's a pretty decent return for a striker at this level, and it probably is a very good return for a lot of strikers. But for Mo Salah, it's not. But guys, it's like, I mean, you can count the months since the man has been at the football club on maybe 2 hands where Mo Salah has been crap for Liverpool. I would probably politely suggest he has been world class at the football club for at least 80% of the time that he's played. I mean, there's not really much more the guy can do. Is he having a bit of a nightmare this season? Yes, but he's now scored 2 goals. Again, same thing with Gakpo. That's the man's job. If he scores and Liverpool win, got to be honest, couldn't really care less at all. There you go. Excuse me. Your Fav Astra, I'll just call you Astra. You a football fan, it's like Facebook. You might like Funko Pops if you like collectibles. It's funny you should say that, Astra. I can't show you my Funko collection because basically the way my bedroom works, it's like way bigger than that you can see here. And they're in a toy chest somewhere over there, and it's an absolute pain in the backside to get them out because basically I'm drowning in toys. I'm actually going to have to do an eBay sale, pretty much. By the way, little piece of trivia about my channel. This channel actually started off as like a basically when I started this, I had this ludicrous idea because I used to be an eBay trader person. I still do it occasionally from now. And I had this really good idea going, oh, I'll tell you what I can do, because I'd seen people do it on YouTube, but I didn't realise I could do it. They were like, you can record videos advertising what you sell and then attach it to your eBay list. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea. So I kind of did like a couple of videos showing all the toys that I'd got basically around the room to try and build up a bit of interest. And my eBay things basically went, not through the roof, but the sales went a bit bigger. And I thought, oh, this has been all right. And then I'd got a couple of subscribers. I thought, oh, cool, nice one. They can do like word of mouth thing. And then one day, I don't know, because literally where Ellen Road is, it's literally down the road from my house. So you're talking, it's about 15-minute walk, something like that, 20 minutes. And I don't know why I was down there. I think I had to go and get a camera or something like that randomly for some stupid reason. So I'm walking down the road and I've got my phone with me, and all of a sudden it kind of clicked, and I was like, my YouTube channel, I wonder what would happen if I filmed Ellen Road just for like 10 minutes. So at the time, I was like, look, I'm not exactly the best YouTuber in the world. Let's have it right. I mean, I'm doing a lot of this stuff as I go along, as you can clearly see. But back in the day, I was rubbish. So I'm walking along, and I was like, oh, I'll do this guide of Ellen Road. I was like, it's in Leeds, and yay, there we go. And I put it on, and like 50 people watched it in a couple of days. And I was like, oh, 50 people, that's really good. As it turns out now, this is not really good, obviously. But and I left it for 3 or 4 weeks, didn't think anything of it. I went to put my next eBay video on, and I just happened to look at the Leeds United thing, and it went to 1.1k, as in viewers and a couple of subscribers. I'm like, oh, wait, what? And then it clicked. I was like, hang on, wait a minute. I go to see wrestling shows and Liverpool. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, I wonder what would happen if it's just. And I excitedly told my missus, like, oh, love, I've just realised I can film all these things and put them on a YouTube channel and people are doing it. And she's like, yes, they've been doing that for about 20 odd years, you idiot. And yeah, basically, long story short, now that's what my YouTube channel is, basically. Loads of random geeky nonsense all over the shop. But yes, there we go. I don't know why I was telling you that story, but anyway. Yes, Astra. Funkos. Right, my friend. Let me just come out of the camera shot. Just a second. Those are pillows, by the way. You can see. Right, and now I gently have to move myself back. Otherwise, I'm going to knock the camera over. There we go. Right. Hopefully this is worth it. That's my latest Funko. By the way, I've also got a playlist called Geek Boy Does Horror, because I'm a massive horror fan. Oh, shout out to everyone that watched all my Halloween stuff as well. That was really awesome. Loads and loads of people have like subscribed and watched all the stuff that I did. Shout out to the Ghana fans who watched the Nigeria versus Ghana vlog as well. But yeah, that's one of my Funkos basically. I've actually got, I've got a massive collection. I want to say I've got 70, 80 of them, maybe. Like I said, they're in the... Basically, I've got too much crap in my room. Because we have a very weird family, basically. We all have our individual rooms. My son's got one because my missus has a sleeping issue, and I have a sleeping issue. We don't, well, obviously it's getting a bit personal, but basically we like sleep in separate rooms, because if I wake the wife up, she can't get to sleep. She wakes me up, then I can't get to sleep, and I also have sleep apnea. So it's a very, very weird thing. So my son's basically got a FNAF Poppy Playtime Rainbow Friends internet gaming horror Minecraft room. Which actually, to be fair, it does look pretty cool, actually. To be fair. And my missus has got like this like weird 60s San Francisco girl hippie room thing. It's just completely different from my stuff. And you come upstairs, I mean, mine looks like a 10-year-old's bloody bedroom, basically. But yeah, I love all my geeky stuff, basically. So yeah, that's why I can't show you the Funkos. And again, I'm not sure why I'm telling you that story, to be honest. Let's go back to the comments. Yeah, you are butchering his name. Real Madrid will thrash you. Whose name did I butcher? Salah's? Trent? Did I butcher someone's name? Apologies if I butchered someone's name. I'm not. I'm usually quite aware of people that I skewer. No, I don't think I butchered anyone's name. Oh, I don't know. I thought hospitality was cooking. Yes, that's true. No. To be honest, mate. Basically, the Liverpool hospitality is the only way I can get tickets, and it's just like I say, it's just a pain in the backside, because obviously the hospitality tickets are hugely expensive if you get them through the club. You're talking like the Madrid ones were going literally. There's like a diamond platinum room at Anfield or something where very fancy stand people like go and watch the football, and it was something outrageous like £1.50. And I'm sorry, but I am not paying nearly a full month's wages for some of us to watch a football match. That will never happen. And even if I was a millionaire, I would not refuse to pay that price. However, this seat loader thing, by the way, this isn't an advert. I just found out about them the other day. The seat loader thing, basically, you can get resale hospitality for not much cheaper, but slightly cheaper. So the Accrington Standard game, for example, last year, I think was going for between 80 and 110. And again, that is outrageous. But you kind of, if it's that much, because basically I think I think it's like Brody's Sports Bar or something like that. you get your match day program, and you actually get your food as well, and it's like unlimited food. And it's like, well, and I think you get a drink as well. And it's like, well, if it's roughly 80 quid, let's say your match day ticket is roughly, should be about 40, 50 quid, something along them like that. God knows how much they are these days, but let's say it's 50. You add on the price for a program this day and age is a tenner. Drink, it's going to be 5 or 6 quid. So you're talking, that's what, 66. And then if you're getting a food and takeaway on the way out, because I mean, you can actually take the food and shovel it into your pockets as well, which is what me and my brother were doing because we couldn't be bothered buying takeaways. We were literally helping ourselves to the. I shouldn't be telling people this actually. Yeah, if there's anyone from the club, I didn't say that. Yes, if you add it all up, if it comes to about 80, you kind of like, that's probably what you would pay. Maybe it's a 10, 20 quid, maybe a push 20 quid slightly more expensive, but it's like, if it's unlimited food, then I mean, you can't really complain, can you? If you're like ravenous when you come back home, if you've got a hotel room, like I said, if you're a cheap and nasty West Midlander like I am, you literally just pack it up and put it in the back of your coat pocket. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, but obviously the carrot bag match is a lot more expensive. I want to say it's about 180 quid, which is obviously absolutely outrageous. But it's one of these, mate. I've got to see my football team play. So yeah, it's just something I do a couple of once or twice a season if I can afford. If I can't afford it, obviously, then obviously I don't pay that sort of money. But I usually go to the Legends game as well because that you can get for. What did I pay for me and my son last year? I want to say it was 25 quid, maybe 20 quid. I think his was like a tenner or something like that. So yeah, there we go. Dick, sorry if that's honestly my glasses are horrendous. Dixon Myers. I'm just going to call you Dixon. Dude. Liverpool are shocking this season. Yeah, yeah. I haven't really got an argument to that. To be now, like I said, Dixon, they played a hell of a lot better last night. I was quite impressed with the performance, but it still wasn't like you weren't leaping up and down off your seat saying, "Oh, that's absolutely fantastic football." It was good football. It was competent football, and that's what we needed at the minute. But it wasn't world class by any stretch of the imagination. I think the lads are going to have to build themselves back into this season and go from there. But yeah, hopefully they can do the business on Tuesday. But I really can't see it, to be honest. Can you hear crowd noise from your house? I can, Dixon. Yes, sadly. Not useful when you have to be up for work early because where we live, but obviously I won't say where I live, but we're in the general vicinity of Ellen Road, somewhere in around that area. And the trouble is, the World and his wife brings the cars, so everyone's like getting into the cars, and there's hundreds of people walking past your house, and there's people who they're not being rude, obviously, but they just generally forget that slamming a car door makes a noise, and it makes quite a big noise when they're all doing it at the same time. And when you have a 4-year-old baby, as he used to be, who wakes up when like a goldfish farts, basically, let alone when someone slams a car door, it really is not helpful, to be completely honest. So yeah, yes, no, we can hear it. We can hear about every single goal as well. I'm actually, speaking of Liverpool, I'm waiting for the Leeds and Liverpool tickets because I better not say this actually. I'm trying to think. Right, so you know those people who are very good at pretending that they are something else when they're in fact something else. I did discuss with my missus the other day, who is a Leeds United fan. So yeah, we're going to be at loggerheads in about a month. I did discuss with her the possibility of going to Ellen Road, but not perhaps in the Liverpool end. To which she turned around and said, "Are you completely bloody stupid?" I was like, "Oh, it's all right, love. I'll have a false moustache on. I know it was there." It's like they all would be living here for nearly the last 12 years. There'll be people that know you. I'm like, "Oh, they won't tell anyone." She dropped this look. It's like they're bloody well if we lose 4-1. So I think that was her polite way of saying that I don't pretend to be a Leeds United fan, but I am. I shouldn't say this just in case I do get mugged or punched in the face. I am extremely tempted to to pull a bit of a vanishing act, shall we say. I probably won't, to be honest, but I think I might be able to get hospitality for Liverpool, which would be very useful, seeing as I live down the road and I don't have to travel like 100 bloody miles to Liverpool, however long it is from Leeds. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Look, hopefully I'll be going to. My hope is, to be honest, folks, that I'll be going to between 3 and 4 Liverpool matches before the end of the season. Like I said, I'm definitely going to Karabag, definitely going to the Legends game. I'm aiming, if we can get a decent draw in the FA Cup, because I would have just got Christmas money from my mommy. Hi, mommy. Yeah, I think I want to say that's on the 12th of January. So hopefully, if we get someone like, I don't know, Cardiff City at home or something, you would imagine it's not going to be a sellout, and maybe it's going to be easy to get a ticket, but we'll have to wait and see. Haven't got that yet. Oh yeah, the Saw one, dude. Yeah, I'll just show you again, dude. Honestly, it's one of my favourite pickups. Again, I sound like an advertising person, but if you want to check out all the stuff that I've got, dude, basically it's Geek Boy does toy hunts. So I basically on Friday I do something called Friday Shorts Night. Is it Friday Shorts? I think it's called Friday Night Shorts Night. So you know the YouTube Shorts where people just put random pictures of Huggy Wuggy and things like this. I'm kind of one of those as well on the Friday, so I'll put like toys and collectibles that I've seen in shops and this, that, and the other. So that's always on Friday nights at 8 o'clock, and there's usually like 5 or 6 of them. Anyway, on Beat Boy does toy hunts. I want to say there are between 500 and 600 toys and collectibles that I have filmed in the last 3 years, which I love that sort of thing because I love toys and collectibles. I'm sure some people would just be like, dude, you're just taking a picture of a plastic figure, which I am, actually, to be fair to them. But yeah, anyway, I love it. So yeah, it's on there if you want to check out the channel, dude. You're more than welcome. Only 800 quid. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, like without, well, that's the thing, Astra. So yeah, when a goldfish fight. Yeah, that's one of my little catchphrases from back home in the Midlands. Yeah, so if you go on Seat, it's called Seat Loader. Like I said, it's not a paid bloody advert or anything. I don't work for Seat Loader if anyone reports me, but I've used Seat Loader a couple of times. It's been really good. So it's something called Brody's Bar that it allows you to go in. So basically you pay whatever your match ticket is. Let's say it's 150 odd quid, which is outrageous again, but obviously you get your match ticket, you get a program, you get unlimited food, where you can just go back as much as you want to. I mean, literally, obviously I'm a big bloke, as you can tell. That they were like doing full like chicken legs. I think I had 4 of them before the match started. I could hardly bloody move, to be honest, after that. And you get a free glass of beer. I think I had wine. I'm not too sure. I'm fairly sure you get a free glass of beer. In fact, I think it might be 2 actually. So this is the thing. If you total it up, if you were paying that outside of the say if you went to a restaurant or something like that, I mean, mate, you're talking probably it's going to be. I mean, if you went out with the lads for something, for example, you're talking it's going to be 70, 80 quid before you've even got to the ground. So, to be fair, it's not that bad, but it is still taking the mick, in my opinion. But it's just one of these. I have to go and see Liverpool at least once a year. Like sometimes in my life, I've been unable to afford it because we haven't always had a very rich family. And I've worked bloody hard to be able to afford that over the last 40 years of my life. And yeah, if I can see him, great. If it's not financially viable, I'm not going to put my family in danger at the end of the day for a Liverpool ticket. So, but yeah, whenever I can I try to see the lads as much as I can. I usually go to Liverpool on my own about 5-6 times a year, just to go to the ground and stuff, and just go around Liverpool, because Liverpool, to quote the Scousers, is a boss city. It is absolutely awesome. Right, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up shortly. I will just tell you it is 0-0 Manchester City and Bournemouth due to the fact that they've been playing for 35 seconds. Yes. Right, there we go. So in terms of stuff coming up, I'm just checking to see if there's anything else that I need to tell you about. Oh yes, there is something I need to say. Right, guys, obviously I appreciate most people have gone there, but if you're listening on excuse me, on YouTube podcast and the video, which will be out tomorrow afternoon, I'm doing a Liverpool night next Saturday. So basically, there's like a couple of vlogs that I did in the summer with at Anfield. So there's a wall mural tour. There's a vlog of something else. I can't remember what the hell it is now. And there's basically loads of little YouTube shorts of around the ground and club shop and various things to do with Liverpool and medals and this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah, which I'm calling Liverpool night basically. So that's next Saturday on the 8th. So basically, the Man City game that we're playing is the day after. But if you want to start it early, if you just go to Geek Boy Meta 7381 on YouTube, it's going to be like a whole Liverpool night basically. And there's a couple of other bits and pieces. Oh, I'm actually, because I go to, because like I'm a geek as the name implies. I really like going around like sort of football grounds and stuff, so I've got probably about 25, 30 football tour vlogs, not in the stadium obviously, but just going around the local area. And in the summer I managed to go to Tottenham Hotspur, so there is a very, very small Tottenham Hotspur vlog this Friday, I think I've got coming up. It was my dad's team, so I actually don't mind Tottenham that much, but for regular subscribers who are used to be doing a 15 to 20 minute video, you will be most disappointed because the Tottenham vlog is about 3 minutes long due to the fact that basically you can't see bugger all, basically. So yes, so let's have a look. Hi Gaz Tweed. Hi Gaz, you're all right, mate. So yeah, that's coming up this weekend. In terms of, so yeah, the Liverpool weekend starts on Saturday the 8th of November, if you want to check that out. In terms of what's coming up, right, no live reaction tomorrow for anything basically. Obviously, if you're not a subscriber, if you're wondering what's going on here, basically I do lots of different things on my channel. So pro wrestling, pride, horror, toy shorts, comic cons, Liverpool, football ground tours. I do 3 podcasts, one of which you're kind of listening to now, which will turn into a podcast, which is Geek Boy A Liverpool Story. There's Geek Boy A Movie Story, where I do movie reviews, not all the time, just periodically. In fact, I'm also going to see Predator where am I seeing Predator? On Friday, about 8 o'clock. So I'm going to try and do a live reaction to that as well, somewhere in Leeds City Centre, which is probably not the cleverest idea I've ever had, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I'll do a few shorts and spoiler casts on Predator as well, Predator Badlands, so that'll be coming up on Friday. Why was I telling you that for? I cannot remember, to be honest. Yes, there'll be no there's no live reaction to anything tomorrow, so tomorrow's basically like my day off. Tuesday, however, there will be live reaction to Liverpool versus Real Madrid, which will begin whenever I can boot my vaunted brother out of the house. Shout out to the bro. No, not really. He can stay there and watch and laugh at it. Yeah, so my live reaction to Liverpool Real Madrid is probably going to be around midday. Midday? It's probably going to be around midnight, I would have thought. Maybe 11:30 if I could start it a bit earlier. Which basically means that Monday Night Raw, that I also do a live reaction to, I'm going to have to push that to Wednesday. Or the Raw one could still be on Tuesday. So it's going to be some sort of, it's not your regular scheduled programming, basically. So there'll be Monday Night Raw reaction on Wednesday, and I'll just go through a bit of what's happened. Thursday is AEW, because I'm also a massive AEW fan. All my AEW stuff's there that I can't reach, but I promise I have got an AEW collection. That'll be about 10:30. And yeah, like I said, there will be a there's the Tottenham vlog, and then it's Liverpool weekend next weekend. After that, the Sunday there'll be Liverpool live reaction to Man City. Again, that's probably going to be about 10:30 at night, give or take. And then after that, in terms of Liverpool stuff, obviously we're going into another wretched international break, so I'll try and do a couple of bits and pieces. Like I'll do like a live thing to do with Liverpool, we could just talk about Liverpool instead of watching international football, because other than the mighty Ghana, and I'm sure you've heard this before, I despise international football. I used to really like it, but I mean, let's have it right, it sucks. I mean, it's just dreadful, and like, I'm already planning what to watch during the break, so I'm actually like saving a lot of episodes of like TV shows that I watch on YouTube things, and I'm just building up a collection of Liverpool vlogs to watch. And I'm just going to watch that instead of watching international football because it is rubbish, basically. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. This has been very cool as normal. I'm just checking, do I need to tell you anything else? I don't think so. We talked about Real Madrid. Liverpool week. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. In fact, I'll just tell you what the Man City Bournemouth Bournemouth just had a goal disallowed. Oh, that's a shame. Never mind. Although, actually, to be fair, if Bournemouth win, then that isn't technically helpful for us at the minute. But yes, there we go. Anyway, hope everyone has a fantastic Sunday. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you with another live reaction after Liverpool versus Real Madrid on late Tuesday night, early hours of Wednesday morning. Right, everyone, thanks for listening to the podcast. If you listen on podcast, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching if you're watching this video later, and I'll see you all on Tuesday night. Up the Reds, champions are back. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.